I buy scented candles.
Yeah.
I burn them. I have no idea what happens in the background. Tell us a little bit more about the whole journey.
So I've put like some rose petals. Please smell it.
Zoom in. Let me turn this around so you guys can see. And is the long-term goal retail, or do you want to keep it private? What's the plan?
Currently, even one of the nominees for this category for this year. So we've collaborated with them. They have a furniture store.
For those who are starting up businesses and thinking, there's 500 people who are doing this. How can I stand out?
I really try to personalize the experience as much as I can. But my husband says I get carried away.
What would you tell young Kimmy in this exact moment?
It's okay to be confident. It's okay to shoot your shot, you know. And it's all going to work out.
Hello. It's another episode of the Youth Excellence Podcast. That's the Yes Podcast. And we're discussing and talking about young, excellent people, finding out where they started from, where they are now, and where they are aspiring to be in the future. Today, I'm joined with another award-winning entrepreneur, another top Excellence Youth Owned Brand Award Top Youth Owned Brand Award winner, who is an excellent person. And she goes by the name of Keletso Khomoaleburu, the founder of Kimmy's Creation. Now, she won the top homeware brand at the Youth Owned Brand Awards. And we're going to find out all about her, where this is all coming from, and so much more. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
It's so great to have you here. Now,
Yes.
because you are Kimmy's Creations, do some people call you Kimmy?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so in this podcast, can I call you Kimmy?
Please,
Wonderful.
please do, yeah.
All right. So, Kimmy, I'm looking at the most beautiful array. If you were in this room, let me tell you.
If only.
If you were here, it smells calm. I don't know how to express the scent of calmness, but that's exactly what it smells like. This reed diffuser that's right close to me here is going to make this a very enjoyable podcast. Let me tell you. Where, how, why, when, how do you wake up in the morning and decide that this is something you want to do?
Yeah. So this started 2021, during COVID and everything. I was a newlywed, and then we just had our second baby as well. And we moved into our new place now because now, lockdown with the restrictions, they had eased off. So I was like, how can I make this house a home? Because this is our place now. And when I'd buy the diffusers and candles in retail, I'm like, I want to do this myself, and then I started just doing some research in terms of how I can actually do that. I went to some training as well. And literally that's it. But to be honest, I've always been in business. I've always loved business. So my grandparents had a general dealer store back in Virginia in Free State. And so growing up into that, I always loved interacting with customers. My mom as well, she also loved selling. She still does. She's so great with like reselling. So I grew up doing that with her, up until a point where I then started doing my own thing where I would also then sell handbags. So then when COVID happened, then there was no longer I could sell handbags.
Couldn't go anywhere.
No. So that's when a lot of things shifted for me really during that time. But I've always been in business, always just been in the back end and helping out, my grandparents, my uncle, my mom, and
Yeah. I love that whenever we hear stories in this podcast, there's always that place it comes from. And it normally is family upbringing. It normally is parents. And I think that just speaks to how impressible young people are in a very young age and why it's so important that they are surrounded by the right people.
Yes.
And so I'm glad that you were, because now we get to be exposed to these beautiful things you've created. For those who are sitting back at home going, Sharp, today I ate a burger at a restaurant. I want to come back home and recreate it.
Yes.
Because you told them that you bought and you thought you want to recreate.
Yes.
You're involved with down to the mixing. Tell me about that, because for those who don't know about this industry, me being one of them, I just buy these things And I don't know what goes into it. I buy scented candles.
Yeah.
I burn them. I have no idea what happens in the background. Tell us a little bit more about the whole journey.
Yeah. So in the beginning, I started off with like 2 scents because I was like, let me just try this out. So it was vanilla, which we all know vanilla, and the other one was white tea, which was quite a strong oat scent. And this was long before I even started introducing the candles as well. So as I was learning and mixing the fragrances together, what was also really nice was that hearing feedback from customers, like for them to say, oh, I actually like this type of a scent, because it makes me feel like this. And so that's when I was like, I want to meet their need, and I want to meet their desire. And so that's how I started. And even as simple as like the candle. So I just want to show you.
Please do.
It's not even, it's not like your simple candle where you just open like, so I've put like some rose petals. Please smell it.
Zoom in. Let me turn this around so you guys can see. Oh my. You know that you brought these to display now. We'll talk after the podcast. These are not leaving with you.
So, but I was like, also, it must not only like smell good, but look good.
Yes.
Like it must look presentable. It must be part of your home decor as well. And so that's when I was like, you know what, let me just put in a little bit more effort and look at what is it that can be within your furniture inside your house, but also smell good when people come into your home. So,
and where can we get our hands on these? Because
yes. So currently we do have a website. So it's www.kimmyscreations.com. We also have WhatsApp business as well. We're on social media as well, Kimmys_creations. We also go into a lot of these markets, so women empowerment events, and we have markets and stores as well. So we're always posting as well where we are so that people can interact. Because I think that's the one thing about our product. People need to engage.
Yeah.
I can sell it to you on Instagram, social media.
But you need to smell it. That's all you need to do. I smelt it and I'm sold.
Yeah. So we really do try to meet new customers, meet new people, so that people can actually engage with the product as well. Yeah.
And is the long-term goal retail, or do you want to keep it private? What's the plan?
Definitely retail. We have been sending out proposals. We have been trying to also collaborate with other businesses as well. So for example, currently even one of the nominees for this category for this year, so we've collaborated with them. They have a furniture store. So, I mean, if you buy your couch, wouldn't you want something?
Yes.
That's what's amazing. If you're renovating your house or whatever. So we are trying to collaborate with many people. We have collaborated with them. So if you go into their store, you're able to smell our product. But the goal is to go into retail. Or to at least have our own physical store. I think it's important for a product like this. Yeah. Because I can only do so much on social media, but when people are able to interact with the product, it then makes sense. Yeah.
I love collaborations that make sense, because as you describe that, just buying a couch, buying a bed and walking away with something that puts it all together. Absolutely love that. I also love that this platform has been a conduit for a collaboration like that to even come out. Definitely. So now we've learned about Kimmy Creations. Let's come to Kimmy herself. Are you currently juggling entrepreneurship and a 9-to-5, or is that what you're doing? Okay. Listen up, everyone. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Tell me about how it is like juggling 9-to-5 and juggling entrepreneurship.
So when I started the business, actually, in 2021, I was retrenched during the COVID time. So I had about a few months in between then to actually figure myself out, in terms of what is it that I want to do. But it was so tough for me because I was like, why was I retrenched? So that was a tough time for me.
Sure.
But I think when I got to that place where I then said, this is what I'm doing in terms of Kimmy's Creations and the diffusers and candles, and because also, just in between me officially launching Kimmy's Creations, during that time, people knew I was selling handbags. But then because we're all closed off, but there's still your Mother's Day, Father's Day, people were asking, what are you doing? What are you selling? And that's when we started also with the personalized gifting option as well. So then when we started launching Kimmy's Creations, I started in late June 2021. And in November, I then got a job. And I started working. I've been working there since then, since today. Juggling 9 to 5, I would say what has helped me is my community, which is my family. Being able to have my husband who is hands-on with the kids, because now we have 3 kids.
Oh, what a blessing.
A great blessing. So he's so hands-on. We do have, help at home as well. I've got my sister, my mom, that community has helped me a lot to channel my energy to Kimmy's, to where it is, especially on weekends when I have to go to markets and the stores and all of that. And then, yes, I do come home late because I'm tired, but I'm so grateful to have that support that I'm able to do what I love, which is Kimmy's. And I am hoping to do it full time and to focus mainly on that. And I think also, once I think those two merge in the sense of people can go into a space where they can interact with the product, I think, that's the goal. That's what we're working towards. But for now, I still have to then juggle that as well. So yeah, I'm trying my best.
No, and you're not trying, you're doing your best. You're not even trying. And I think there's a famous quote that says, women can do it all. But I always say, but they don't have to.
They don't have to.
And that's where the community comes in that when you're running a business, when you're a wife, when you're a mother, when you are every single hat that is possible, you need the support of a community. And I'm so glad that you've got that environment. And also, I love the fact that you were able to pivot your business in that this is what we offer, but here's how we can personalize it to you in doing gifts, in doing corporate gifts as well. I'm sure you do. And that speaks to those entrepreneurs out there that, yes, you can have a single product with multiple users. And so start to think about how to diversify those different offerings.
Definitely.
Let's talk about the fact that you won a YOBA.
Oh my goodness.
And the thing is, 2021 was not a long time ago. And so you're an award-winning business owner like that.
Yes.
What did that feel like? And what has it done to your business to know that you have the recognition of award-winning in front of your name?
Yeah. It has been humbling. Humbling because, people need to vote for you. And those people are my customers.
Yeah.
And that has been genuinely so humbling, so heartwarming, because it means they want this for Kimmy's. They want this for, a product and a brand that they buy, they also invest into, and they want it to last for long. And so being able to have their support and being awarded that, for me, it means a lot. And it is, people have given me that respect to say award winning.
You walk different, you talk different.
Listen, yeah. So it's absolutely amazing. I think even when you walk into a space or you have those stores and you say, listen, I'm an award winning business and product as well that I have to offer, they do take you seriously, So, and I also love how it has allowed me to network with a lot of people, collaborate with a lot of people as well. And that's how you're able to reach even more people. So it's been amazing.
Wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that. Now, you are rooted in the concepts of, I would say, resilience, purpose, and hard work. When people think of Kimmy's Creation, what do you want them to, what's that? It can be one word or one line that you want them to think of immediately.
Excellence.
You're on the right podcast.
Yeah. Another word, I'd say quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And to follow up on that then, my question would be, you are in a very competitive market. Incredibly competitive.
Yes.
All doing very similar things, but with different outcomes. Like the scents I'm smelling today, I haven't smelled before. And I'm I'm an avid reed diffuser, candle lighter. Walk into my house any day and there'll be a different scent in there. And now I've just discovered something that's so, so, so amazing. How do you, I don't know if I want to say stay above competition, or how do you stand out for those who are starting up businesses and thinking there's 500 people who are doing this. How can I stand out?
I think the first thing is that I listen to my customers. A lot of them really even suggest to me, hey, do you have wax melts? I'm like, yeah. And I do more research on that and I offer that and I say, what do you think? I really, really appreciate feedback from my customers.
Yeah.
And I think that's what helps me because I'm meeting their need. You know, I think another thing as well for me is not only do I listen to my customers, but I think I try to personalize my offering. So if one customer comes to me and says, hey, this is what I'm looking for, I've got this type of an event, I try to reach them, you know, at how about we do this? How about we do that? So I really try to personalize the experience as much as I can. But my husband says I get carried away.
You love to deliver.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's great that you call your business an experience, not a product. Yeah. I think that that's a fundamental point, that you're not selling a product, you're selling an experience. Yeah. And that's something that people cannot compete with because that experience is yours. It's no one else is trying to copy or replicate that. Earlier on in your answer, you spoke about retrenchment. And I want to take us back to that place because, look, it's Youth Month.
Yeah.
Unemployment rate is sitting at, we hear this every day. I don't know if it's over 45 now, but it's dire. Yeah. It's bad. And a lot of young people are looking at retrenchments, are looking at being let go from their jobs, are looking at being told after you have studied, you've gotten that degree that you don't qualify. Yeah. Just everything, all the odds are stacked against you. Yeah. You've gone through that. And even as you mentioned, you said you asked yourself why, because I'm sure you were doing the job and you were doing the job well. So why? There's a lot of young people sitting there going, why me? Yeah. How do they make it out of that space and see that light at the end of the tunnel?
It was so tough. I don't want to lie. It was tough. And just to maybe give a little bit of context, it was tough because okay, we got married like 2 days before the lockdown thing happened. Oh! And then, but we already had our firstborn. And so we moved in together. And shortly afterwards, as everything is now happening, that's when they let me know that, listen, we're going to let you go. So that was tough. Yes, in that moment, everything was okay, you know. But as time went by, that's when I started asking myself, why? What did I do wrong? Yeah. You know, what is it that I didn't, you know, offer to them? And so it does help, obviously, having right voices to encourage you, you know. And so what I did then is ask myself, okay, what am I interested in? And I allowed myself to explore different things. So I went to beauty school. So they had a course that they were offering. So they were doing nails, they were doing makeup and individual lashes. So I did that course. And then from the 3, I started doing the individual lashes. So I started, obviously, after the course, started practicing at home, speaking to everyone that I know and, you know, starting that business. But I realized it's not for me, but I tried, you know, and that's when people then started asking me, okay, because there are no more handbags, what about Mother's Day? What do you have to offer me? Yeah. And that's when I then said, okay, let me try to do the personalized gifting. So I put some products together, did the personalized gifting. It started getting a little bit chilly. I started reselling coats. So I tried. I tried various things, but in that moment, I didn't allow what happened to sort of cloud me, where I now no longer want to try. I no longer want to do something else, you know. Yes, I don't have that corporate job, but what is it I can do to keep myself busy until also because in that moment, there's also the uncertainty of when is COVID ending, you know?
And now when is it coming back? That's where, yeah.
Yeah, you know? So in that moment, I just continued to just keep trying. The nails I did, it was a mess. It was a mess, a big mess. But I just kept trying. And I think what also helped was that my family just kept saying, just keep applying. Keep applying. And what also helped is for them obviously to look at my CV, restructure it differently. So it's having that community, having that support, the right voices, being able to also evaluate, and say, yes, what could have gone wrong, but don't beat yourself up. Really just say, what is it that I can do better? But in the meantime, what is it that I can do to keep myself busy? Yes, I loved beauty, but now it didn't mean necessarily that I'm great with nails. I'm great with, but I just kept trying. I kept trying until I was here.
Love that. When you fail, try, and try again. It speaks to the spirit of adaptability. The ability to say, I'm going to try nails. That's not working. Going to try lashes. I'm going to try something. And then we get to this point. And I think that that's definitely a point of encouragement to young people who are currently trying different things right now. I think the gig economy is telling us, try everything you possibly can. Social media management, AI consultant.
Listen.
Keep trying.
Keep trying.
Keep trying until you get there. There's a question that I love to ask all of the guests that come here, which is when you become an award-winning brand, you're in the spotlight. And everyone sees the glitz and glam. Everyone sees Kimmy's creations. They see this beautiful, first, I love the aesthetic of your product. They see this beautiful product and they think, life must be good, hey? Like, she's living the dream, hey? Speak to me about some of the challenges that you've encountered in business, or even some of the mistakes that you've made.
I think the first one that I talk about, the one mistake is that I wasn't hands-on on my social media account. Because again, I've got my personal one and the business. So what happened was, and I'm a very bold person, confident. I'll shoot my shot. Listen, I think a lot of people know that I've sent out those proposals.
Good.
So I once sent my proposal to a DJ. So she posted and she said, hey, I want to do a big 30th. So any suppliers that you know. So obviously she's looking for deco stuff, but I'm like, no, man, gift your people, So I'm like, gift your people the diffusers, and the PA reached out to me. Kaseboni, the DM. You wanna fella, it was just the birthday. I saw like on the birthday, I'm like, why didn't you respond? When I went to that DM, the PA was like, hey, I wanted to find out like the quantity, how much is it? I was looking for 30 diffusers.
Ma'am. Yeah, no, but also this is relatable content. So let me not
when
judge you.
I calculated 30 diffusers at that time, like, where could I have been? And also I think about the bigger picture of 30 people having these diffusers in their
customers. Okay. Yeah.
So that was tough.
Hey.
That was tough. Some of the other challenges. But I think that's the one that really, I think, hurt my feelings.
Yeah, no, I can understand. No, it's hurting me now on your behalf. I'm also just thinking, but look, from this podcast, those 30 plus clients will return. Because they don't know what they're missing out on. But thank you for sharing that. I think a lot of the times as business people, everyone expects us to be perfect. And no one knows that we're making mistakes. And so it's important that to those listening to this podcast, they recognize entrepreneurs fail. Not once, not twice, but over and over again, because we are human beings. What's an interesting fact about your brand that people might not know?
So some people might not know, but the customers, when they place their orders, sometimes I just put in like an extra something just to say thank you so much. Yeah. So, and if let's say they mention like it's a birthday, I try to add something a little bit extra. Yeah, but I think it's because I genuinely love gifting. Like it's a love language for me. So like I said, my husband said, I
I was
guess.
about to say, I understand why. It now makes sense why he said what he said. He's probably sitting there going, Mara, we're just supposed to deliver a candle. Now you are making a card. Oh, but I love that. I think it speaks to how personal this business is to you, and which comes down to that name again, Kimmy's Creations.
Yeah.
That's adding your name to a brand is as personal as it gets. So talk to me about how you got to that name, Kimmy's Creations.
So Kimmy was a name that my friends would call me, like in high school. So when I thought of the business and what I could call it, I didn't want to just say Kimmy, but I knew that I also wanted to do more. So with creations, it's more like an umbrella
Yeah.
to say there is more
Exactly.
under
Kimmy's
the
Candles.
Yes.
It's Creations. I
It's
love
creations. There's more that I'm going to create within this brand. So yeah.
Okay. And I mean, a little bit earlier on, we spoke about where to from here, but is there anything exciting that's coming up that you want us to be aware of? I know that June, July, August, Women's Month is probably one of the months that you want people to know, hey, this is where to go. But is there anything that you want to tell us that we should be aware of, we should be on the lookout for?
Yeah. I think definitely for them to check our website. So it's something that's actually quite new. So definitely our website, and on social media, I'm constantly posting as well in terms of the events that we'll be going to. But I think for anyone who's looking for corporate gifts, for those women empowerment events that are taking place in the month of August, even in the workplace as well, we are ready. We are ready to provide that. And we definitely are working towards going into retail space, at least having that shelf. But definitely also in the future, we do want to gather all our Kimmy customers. Just for us to celebrate.
I'm about to be a customer because I also want to celebrate. So get in now before the doors close, guys.
We want to celebrate with our customers and just to reflect back at where we come from, but also to say thank you to our customers because without them and their word of mouth.
That's right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
As this conversation comes to a close, I want to ask you one final question. To look back in time, if you were to speak to young little Kimmy, who had no idea that this is where you would be. Stop, because I'm getting emotional, so I'm not going to look at you. What would you tell young Kimmy in this exact moment?
It makes me emotional because, I've been through a lot. But I would say it's going to be okay and continue to be that bold girl. It's okay to be confident. It's okay to shoot your shot, and it's all going to work out. So,
I love that so much. Thank you for sharing. My voice is, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think whenever we get the opportunity to speak life into a moment that we didn't have the opportunity to, it's so empowering. And let those words resonate with you as well. To be able to tell yourself, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
It all works out at the end.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here with us, Kimmy. This has been an amazing conversation. I've learned so much from you as an individual and from your organization. And I want people to know that this is so much more than a product. This is, when you purchase one of these, this is what comes with it. This passion, this devotion, this everything is packaged into this tiny little fragment. And I know that you are going to soar from this moment, as you already are. You're going to do incredible things. And I can't wait to hear more about it in the future. So I can tell people that I interviewed her.
Yes.
I knew her and everything that happens after this. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you to everyone who tuned into the Youth Excellence Podcast. Another incredible episode. And we look forward to seeing you at the next one. Good. Oh my gosh.
Oh, goodness.
Do you know how hard it is to hold back while you try to talk? Oh, that was amazing.
Oh, my.
Oh my goodness.